Hello, BookTube and everyone. Today I'm going to do I'm going to get the name wrong, but it'll be right in the description. My 10 favorite book covers. You seen it going around on YouTube. It's the brainchild of Grammaticus, wonderful BookTube channel, and I've been watching as many of these as I can, and I'm learning a tremendous amount. Seeing some old friends. Learning about new ones and artists. So if I understand correctly, you have to own the book. You have to have a print copy. And so that's what I would do anyway. And yeah, let me get into it here. I'm going to start with Günter Grass. This is one of my favorite books. It's an odd painting, or woodcut, or whatever it is. But it works. This is a great novel. And it actually was, the art is by Günter Grass himself, the novelist. So, this has always been a favorite novel and a favorite cover. I think it's had other covers. Obviously, originally in German, but in English here. And he won the Nobel Prize. But yeah, the Tin Drum, and I love this cover. So, yeah, put this aside here for a second. This next artist, I really, really enjoy. I've got his art on lots of stuff. He's most famous for his Patrick O'Brien, Aubrey Maturin series covers, and that's Jeff Hunt. These are the Norton trade paperbacks. Yeah, I absolutely think he's a splendid artist, and all the covers are equal. I just picked one that just popped out at me. I have a lot of maritime fiction. Douglas Riemann coming to mind, who had some covers on his paperbacks that I really like. But a lot of times, these publishers aren't putting down who the artist is. I suppose I could figure out online. But in this case, I know who the artist is, and he's a great one, Jeff Hunt. This next one came down to two different covers. All right. And I went back and forth, and this is Ralph McQuarrie, and it's Isaac Asimov's Robot Dreams. I love this cover. And you have a dreaming robot. I'll give a little bit of glare still. We're still working on this room. It's a work in progress because things have been being arranged. But I really love this. See, when did this come out? It's a great collection of stories. It came out in... Could they make it any smaller, the print? I mean, if they need to, I guess. Wow. 1986. So this Ace mass market edition is 1990. And a lovely cover. But the cover that McQuarrie did also that I really, really like, and one of my favorite Star Wars novels of all time, the first really good Star Wars novel, I think, was Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster. And that's just, I think it's a fantastic cover. Good novel. Short little thing. I've had mine forever. When did it come out? 1978. This is a 10th printing of 1980. So yeah, really good artist. Then you have to have Michael Whalen. And this was not hard for me to pick. I have been enamored of this cover for ever since I got the book. So there's a famous picture, a painting of Asimov that's really cool. I might have to find it. But this one, another writer who had an artist do him well, and that was Heinlein. I love that Michael Whalen cover. Now, there's tons of other Michael Whalen I could have chosen and love. But there's something about that. This book came out. Grumbles from the Grave is 1989, and it's edited by the late author's wife, and it deals a lot with, how he was dealing with publishers and other folks in his life. So, but there's a beautiful cover, I think. Then getting out of the science, here, let me wet my whistle. Getting out of the science fiction and fantasy for a minute. I love these covers. There's a whole series of them. I just grabbed one. Let me see if I can make sure it's a singular name. It's not a full long name. It's the cover design and illustration by Bascove, Bascove, and these Brother Cadfael, and there's whole bunches of them, and you instantly recognize them if they're on the shelf. By Ellis Peters, it was I don't know if it was Granada or BBC who did the Brother Cadfael television series, which was Sir Derek Jacobi, about a monk who is a healer but an ex-crusader, so he's a tough guy, and he's a great detective. Medieval mysteries, wonderful, wonderful. These Bascove covers are recognizable easily, and which is a good thing. So I like these. Then Grammaticus picked up volume 1 of this series, so I wasn't going to repeat him, although I agree with him. These are by Robert Gould, and I've got the whole set, Minor Science Fiction Book Club and Nelson Doubleday. These are the Elric volumes, Melnibone. I love saying that word. No, I don't. Elric of Melnibone, and he's an albino, a hero. There's magic. There's sword and sorcery. They're great stories, and I got the full set. So I'm going to show up a different cover by Mr. Gould, right there. Sort of haunting. Pretty good. There's a Stormbringer. So let's see this. So let me see what stories are in this. The Dream Thief's Daughter. It's part 4. It has Dream Thief's Daughter, the Skraeling Tree, and the White Wolf's Son. So really, really, if you haven't read Elric and you like this sort of thing, worth your while. Then a Boris Vallejo cover. I showed this when I did my, from my collection, Larry Niven, but I just love this cover. And I like Boris quite a bit. Get the skull in the background. And, this thing's actually illustrated on the interior, but I think it's somebody else. Esteban Morado. Those are some of the interiors. So this whole paperback's loaded with illustrations, but it's Boris on the cover, and I had to have Boris. You notice one person I don't have is Frazetta. I love Frazetta. A lot of folks had picked Frazetta, and I couldn't make a choice, so, yep, I skipped it. And then this one here is not as well known to me, the artist. I always have to look him up. Gary Riddell, probably everybody else knows him. But for some reason, ever since I read this is Joe Haldeman's The Hemingway Hoax. About parallel worlds and murder and all that. So it's, I like the cover. I like the, the motion. I like the colors. And you got Papa right there. Really cool. So this one jumped off the shelf at me when I bought it. A long time ago. How long ago did I get it? A long time ago. 1990. Not that long ago. Then I had to have a Daryl K. Sweet cover. I've got Eye of the World up there, but it's a commemorative edition, so it has the silver background and doesn't have all his back painting on it, Robert Jordan. Wheels of Time, first volume, or they made a prelude since, but just to mess everybody up. So I picked this one, probably one of the first that I knew about him with, and one that's always stood with me. And this, I have a Sword of Shannara that's later, so it's got a different cover. But I've got the Elfstones and Wish Song in these Darrell Cray Sweet versions. So this is Terry Brooks, the Elfstones of Shannara. And there's illustrations throughout this thing, too, if I remember right. Well, I'm not going to go hunting them all down. You get an idea. But anyway, I always loved these covers. And when did this come? This is getting to be quite... Yeah, the paper's yellowing. 1982. So, definitely a Tolkien-type knockoff. There was always those... I remember right, there's always those Brother Hildebrand. Talk about some good illustrators that also did some of this stuff. That was a while ago. And then finally, I grabbed two of them. This is, the artist is Arthur Barbosa. These are two George MacDonald Fraser Flashman novels. They're hardcovers. Flashman is a ne'er-do-well in the Victorian Empire and the Raj and all that. And these series of books are hilarious. They're a send-up. But you have to understand what they're trying to do. Some people get a little uptight about them, but their whole point is humor and pointing out the ridiculous. I'm going to pick, I think I'll pick this one. So I've got these in hardbacks. So here's where the action's going to take place. Got bunches of these. They're such fun reads. This is 1975, Alfred A. Knopf. But the covers really capture the spirit. He's a bit of a rogue. Here's another cover just if you're interested. I just love the stuff. They are a wraparound. I'll show you the one I chose first. Yeah, it's quite beautiful, actually. And the wraparound on this one. Hold up the ISBN, right? They always got these things, man. I know you got to have them, but... Oh, well. When the art's good, the ISBN's in the way. So anyway, that was my 10 favorite covers. Out of the books that I still own. I mean, I can think of some books that I'd really like to have included, but I don't have them anymore. So, and when this is over, I'll think of 10 other ones that I should have done. But this is a great project, so I appreciate Grammaticus coming up with this. It's a great idea. And I really enjoy watching. There's a lot of these videos out there, and if you have time and you like this sort of thing, they're fun to watch. So, thank you.